unicorn tingling? Let's rub horns. Horns up, horns up, horns up, horns up, horns up. We are Unicorn Podcast.
Our project attracts the best people, and that includes you. You know what we've accomplished thus far, almost 1 full year in this project. But you know what it feels like. You know what's going on in crypto, but we also know where we want to go. This project where we together have staked our claim in the world of crypto on the blockchain, we know that we want to go much, much, much further to prove to the world that a project based on things like honesty, integrity, transparency, prosperity can succeed in crypto, that when given a fair chance, people can make it. The challenge that we faced right now is probably twofold. Number one, it's been a very challenging crypto market, right? It's easy to get down. A lot of people have gotten down in crypto. The other challenge that we faced is that it takes good long-term hard work to accomplish anything in life. And we want it all, and we want it all right now. Okay. But if we take a step back and look at what's happened and look at what we are doing day in and day out with good quality people like you, building day by day by day, controlling what we can control, we can get that warm, fuzzy feeling deep down inside that there's only one unicorn fart dust. We can't control the general markets. We can't control the crypto markets. We can't control the overall meme coin market. What we do control is our project, and they can never take unicorn fart dust away from us. What we've built through now and what we continue to build in the future. So the future reality for this project could look, and I think will look, very, very positive because of the great people like you that we attract. Yesterday, and by the way, thank you for being here in the basement. Don't forget, please watch this on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it on X, all that great stuff. That is much appreciated. Yesterday, Andre, who races a McLaren race car, finished third in the big race, which we're very excited about. But what we're really grateful for, look, he's got big name sponsors now, like Dunkin' Donuts, but he has very generously put UFD stickers on his car, which are being seen by a lot of people as he's racing in these premier racing events, mostly in Central and South America. Let's go out and take a look at a post from our friend Gabe, who gave the results yesterday. He said, congratulations to Andre for the third place in the main event and first place in the GTS Turbo category. Andre gave a great fight and was able to get the best lap time of the race. So third place in the main event. And I was able to watch, it was actually on Facebook streaming a little bit of it. Very exciting. First place in the GTS Turbo category, and he got the fastest lap of the race. Thank you, Andre, for taking UFD with you on this racing journey. Guys, look, it's just another example of how UFD is out there being seen by more and more and more people. Remember the law of marketing, right? People have to see things 6 or 7 times before they'll make a decision to take an action. That's like a timeless advertising marketing concept, right? That people need to hear about, I don't know, a certain brand of toilet paper. Boy, my mind just drew a big blank, or whatever we're talking about. A new drink, a new product, anything. They need to hear about it 6 or 7 times before they will decide to make a purchase decision, to take an action. And what we're doing, right, every single day, what Andre did for us yesterday, right, a lot of people saw UFD probably for the first time, is planting seeds that can provide a bountiful harvest, right? As the project continues down the path, as we go into soon, we'll be going into our second year in crypto, which is like, I don't know, that's like graduating with a doctorate degree or something. It's a big deal, right? 1 year in crypto, somebody told me yesterday, is like 10 years in normal time. So keep up the great work. We're doing wonderful. Big news for Solana. This is actually very encouraging because, as you all know, you know more about crypto than I do. I'm just the boomer dev down here in the basement. But our coin is based on the Solana network. Maybe it's called our native chain. I don't know. There's all kinds of different ways you guys say it, right? I'm not a full blown degen. But Solana is having their big event later this week, I think it is, and it has record attendance. Get a load of this, and then we're going to look at the website for the big event. But this comes from the Solana Post, who tells us that the Solana breakpoint, it's called BP25, which stands for breakpoint, and it's breaking all records with 6,300 plus attendees, the largest breakpoint event ever, and it's growing. Let's go out here to their website. Pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of the Ledger Open, that look that it has to it. Really, really cool. And by the way, thank you to Ledger for sponsoring Ron's Basement. We'll come back to that. Our friends at Ledger, right? The cryptocurrency security leaders. They got the best hardware devices, signer devices out there. The new Ledger Nano Gen 5, the Ledger Flex. On top of that, they've got the Ledger wallet. With Ledger now, you can do everything, right? You can secure your crypto, but even more importantly, you can manage all your digital assets in one place. Buy, sell, stake, swap, do everything in the safe Ledger environment. And it's a big honor to have Ledger as a sponsor. I use Ledger, right? And I will urge you, please remember, learn from me. Okay. I went through a horrible hack situation, as many of you know. Think about crypto security before something happens. Okay. You can talk to a lot of people who've been through a lot of unfortunate situations. You want to think about security before something happens. Back to the Solana breakpoint. Here it is. It's going to be in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, December 11th, which is 3 days from today. But the big good news here, guys, is that, look, we are based on Solana. They got a record number of people, even in this difficult, challenging crypto environment that we've been in, going to the Solana Breakpoint event. I think a lot of the big key people are going to be there. It's going to be awesome to hear what comes out at this major conference. So good news for Solana is always good news for Unicorn Fart Desk. It's kind of like the weather system in which we operate. When Solana does well, that tends to give our project a good tailwind as well. And when what we hear about Solana, right, it is like very successful. Number one, I saw something like they were up for 500 straight days without any technical issues, right? People love Solana as the Solana ecosystem continues to expand. It will be beneficial to Unicorn Fart Desk, and it'll be beneficial to our project. And we are still getting big names talking about us. The whale, maybe Whale Satoshi, with their 147,000 followers, will eventually change their name to Narwhal Satoshi. But they put this out yesterday. Who is the king of meme coins? Guys, again, right, there we are, UFD. People are seeing us, big accounts, big people in crypto continue to follow us. Okay, now let's move on to another good person, one of our good friends of our project, right? Somebody who I had the pleasure of meeting in person at the Ledger Open Conference, Gigi. But I can tell you that Gigi has been a big supporter of our project from very early on. In Windows 98, I think, crashed into one of her live streams recently. Let me share this, and let's go up here. Yeah, this came from Windows 98, went into one of her live streams. I think it was Gigi's birthday, and listen to what he asked her and what she says, a request that she do for her birthday wish. This is great.
Confused said, just Windows 98 route checking in from the Windows 98 basement, wishing you a happy day from UFD.
Happy birthday.
You so much. when you blow out the candles, which for UFD to 10 billion, I will do that. I will do that for you.
All right, we've got some good things to look forward to. Our friend Gigi promised to wish for UFD to 10 billion when she blew out the candles on her birthday cake. Thank you, Gigi. Most importantly, I do want to say this, and I put a tweet out about this not too long ago. Gigi was there from the very early days when I was things were quite crazy. Let's put it that way. I had a Twitter hack. Obviously, my wallet got hacked, and Gigi was there day and night. Literally, there were times when I was talking to her at like 2 or 3 in the morning, helping me navigate things, helping me deal with 2 times the Twitter account got hacked early on. You may not remember that, but she went above and beyond and has done nothing from the very early days of this project but help the Unicorn Fart Dust project. So we are very grateful to you, Gigi, for that. And sorry I missed your birthday, Gigi, but happy birthday. And it was a true pleasure to get to meet you in person at the Ledger event in Paris, France, about 1 month ago. Royal, remember Royal, our friend Royal? Well, he's back, right? Nobody ever leaves UFD for good. It's good to see UFD back on the scene. We're going to get to that next. But here's our friend Sarah Talley, another big supporter of UFD. You got to love that. I got to say, that's the first time I've seen this. The big U with the unicorns, the big F for the fart, and the big sparkles for the D for UFD. UFD. Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate you as well. But Royal put this out. The bounce will be violent. Let's take a look at this. We're going to do it on full screen. Royal's always been out spreading the dust, a big supporter of our project. We appreciate you as well.
Let's do it. Drop that sucker.
Bingo. There's the bounce.
Ready? Let's do it. Drop that sucker.
One more time. Drop those beans. There's the bounce in the beans. Okay, big news out of Washington, D.C. over the weekend. Look, we've talked about this many times, okay? As crypto adoption continues to go higher and higher, that will provide a massive tailwind for all of crypto, including the Solana ecosystem and including the meme coin sector that we exist in, and will be very good for Unicorn Fart Dust. We got this over the weekend out of the White House. This is very interesting. Make sure we got you on the right screen, which we do. Okay. From Merlin the Trader. Okay. And Merlin's got 400,000 followers. So thank you, Merlin, for sharing this. Merlin Jen. Anyway, breaking. Trump just committed to signing landmark crypto legislation this year. Yes, you heard that right. This year. That was the promise. For the first time in U.S. history, the president is going all in on crypto market structure reform, a full federal framework, institutional clarity, retail protections, and a clear runway for innovation. Let's listen to what he said. I won't read through all the rest of that, but let's listen to President Donald Trump. Again, I'm not a political channel or a financial advisor for that reason, or for that matter. But let's listen to what the current president of the United States has to say about crypto.
I'm also committed to signing landmark crypto market structure legislation this year to grow the industry. We're going to be growing it even more than people ever thought. It's a really hot industry. I'm also committed to signing landmark crypto market structure legislation this year to grow the industry. We're going to be growing it even more than people ever thought. It's a really hot industry.
Landmark crypto market structure legislation. I think I got that right. That was a mouthful. Look, let's just say, and you may feel differently about this. You don't always have to agree. We don't always. That's what a community does, right? A family, a community, anything, an organization. We'll have some disagreements, but I think some cleaning up in the crypto world, some structure and some protections in the end will be a good thing. I'm all for decentralization. I'm all for democratization. But I think that if we want more and more people to come into crypto, they need to feel like they're coming into a safe and reliable, secure environment, not like they're walking into a sleazy bar at 2:00 in the morning on a Saturday night. And there's some great projects and great companies out there, no doubt about it. But I think as crypto evolves, kind of like the internet evolved, right? I'm old enough to remember how that went, right? The internet was kind of the Wild West back in the mid 90s, no doubt about it. And the internet evolved and grew and became a more safe and reliable place for people to go, right? Like Google, we all feel safe going onto the Google website. We all feel safe going on to Amazon, all that. Well, it wasn't quite that way back in the mid 90s. And I think that with a little bit of structure and a little bit more, maybe the R word, not Ron, but regulation, right? We could get a lot more people into crypto, and the net result of that would be good for everybody in crypto and good for everybody that gets into crypto, because at its core, crypto is so good. And when it comes to unicorn fart dust, right, the reason why I'm talking about this is no matter what new regulations come out, whatever, like we've been squeaky, my nose keeps itching. Sorry. We've been squeaky clean from day one. It would be a big benefit to our project. We've said that all along. When all the dust settles, specifically in the meme coin sector, I mean, the meme coin sector really, guys, look, I love degen humor. I have a sick sense of humor, no doubt about it. You can ask upstairs Susie. But some of the stuff that goes on, we're talking about people's money and money that people are committing to projects, and some of the things that have happened, some, not all, right? There's some other great projects, no doubt about it. But some of it does need to be cleaned up, in my humble opinion. And I believe wholeheartedly through that process, right, the good projects will thrive, will persist. And I know that will and can include unicorn fart dust. And we've got more and more news about crypto adoption occurring all over the world. We get this out of the Philippines. Okay, this comes from Crypto R Us. Wow, almost 300,000 followers. Big account. Philippines. Fastest growing digital bank rolls out crypto. GoTime, one of the Philippines' fastest growing digital banks with 6.5 plus million users, has launched crypto services following a partnership with U.S. fintech Alpaca. Okay, users can now buy and hold 11 crypto assets directly in their app, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and our favorite, Solana. So the world is adopting to crypto. Again, why does that matter to us as a project? Well, because the more people that get into Solana, like that post just showed, is going to happen in the Philippines, the more people can learn about and gain exposure and have the opportunity. People love culture. People love memes. Okay. I read this the other day and it made so much sense. It was like bashing all the quote unquote utility coins, quote unquote, not all of them, but some of them, maybe some people would say a lot of them, right, that came out with all this promise and wound up having no utility and no community afterwards. But what this article said about memes, it said, number one, Bitcoin's a meme coin. Remember, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, said it himself. Bitcoin is essentially a meme coin. And after being in crypto for almost a year and everything I've learned, and I'm a very analytical person, let me tell you, I believe that in a lot of ways, Bitcoin really is become more like a meme coin with some big institutions behind it. But that no matter what happens with all these flashy coins that are going to do this and do that, blah, 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 that with meme coins, what's unique is it's a very simple prospect. Remember, we are powerfully simple in what we give to the world of crypto, but culture will prevail, right? All these flashy fly-by-night, the girl in the pretty red dress or the shiny red ball or whatever you want to call it, new things that pop up every week, they come and they go. But culture and quality prevail. Think about it. Simplicity. That's what we have in Unicorn Fart Dust. Baby dusters, we got culture. We are kind of sophisticated. And on top of that, we have quality. right? We have integrity. Those things last, right? All this other stuff. Think about all the stuff that's happened in the last. I mean, if just there's countless examples. Remember Bonk? I remember like what 3 months ago. I'm getting all these messages, people saying you need to go on Bonk, you need to be on Bonk, Bonk this, Bonk that, Bonkity Bonk, 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 Bonk. What happened to Bonk? I know it's still around, and I'm not putting it down. I think it was a great thing, all that wonderful stuff. But it was like, Ron, you need to migrate your project to Bonk, and this is how you can do it. No. And I'm like, no, I'm not migrating my project to Bonk. We are Unicorn Fart Dust. We've staked our claim on the blockchain. We are unique. We are special. We have honesty, integrity, and we've got culture. But all this stuff, right, that goes on, right? Oh, you should be on, well, streaming on Pump Fun. Well, I can't stream on Pump Fun. Okay. That was the big thing. What, like 7 weeks ago, like the world was ending because everybody, and I don't know, all these things pop up. Culture prevails. Quality prevails. Integrity prevails. Okay. It always has. Value always wins in the end. Whether you're talking about a stock, whether you're talking about a person, whether you're talking about a crypto project, value, right? And core principles that are aligned with what's right in the world, treating other people the way that you want to be treated, which is all I've done. You know the lore of UFD. I had no earthly clue what I was doing. 1 year ago right now, I never owned a crypto. I didn't know what a crypto wallet was. When I was watching my 10-minute video about how to create a meme coin, right? I had at that point owned no crypto. It said, you're going to need your wallet. So I went upstairs and I got my big leather Boomer wallet and brought it down here. That's how little I knew about crypto. I know a lot more right now. And I've lived in the meme coin sector for almost a year. And I'm going to tell you, I believe 100% our quality and the quality of you, right? The people that are in this, I will put the quality, the maturity, the ingenuity, the resourcefulness, right? The heart, the passion of our community up against anybody else's, period. That's just the way it goes. All right. I need to say thank you. Look at the sun is shining on MoonPay this morning. I forgot to put up my sun blocker. I might be a little bright as well. Sorry, guys. I got a window down here in the basement that I usually cover with a piece of cardboard that then Jasper spends all day trying to get down so he can look out the window at the squirrels in the yard. But nonetheless, the sun is shining on MoonPay, and there's a reason for that. MoonPay is adding big value to the world of crypto. Last I heard, they have 35 million customer accounts. And one of the best things that MoonPay does is help people on-ramp fiat paper money into crypto. But they're doing so much more. Really hard to keep up with all the growth and innovation that we're seeing from MoonPay. Look, I told you earlier about me needing, to open my first crypto wallet almost a year ago, right? When I opened my first crypto wallet, my very first crypto transaction in any one that I've done since, any time that I've on-ramped fiat into crypto, it's been on MoonPay. It's safe, it's reliable, it's efficient, and it's a great experience. So look, I was the boomer who came into crypto. MoonPay helped me do that. They're helping millions of other people do that as well, and a lot more, right? They're doing way more within the MoonPay ecosystem. Thank you, MoonPay, for sponsoring Ron's Basement. Do you know who Mr. Beast is? Let's talk about Mr. Beast for a minute, because it's interesting. What's his name? Jimmy Donaldson is also possibly going to be moving into crypto. I could see, and I'm the possibility, I'll emphasize that possibility of him liking Unicorn Fart Dust. But he put out a tweet that I want to draw your attention to, and then I want to tell you a story about Mr. Beast. Here we go. So Mr. Beast put this out a couple days ago, December 6th. He says, if you're a streamer reading this. Okay, that would be me. We're streaming together. You're a streamer too out there. And by the way, thank you guys for being here. Horns up. Let's go, Dusters. You should react to my new video on stream because I want to see your reaction. Okay, Mr. Beast, but I'm going to tell you a lot more about Mr. Beast when we're done. We'll go out, all right, because you've done so much for the world of content creation. Here's his latest video. 100 pilots fight for a private jet. So he does these all the time. Look, the guy's got 450 million subscribers. It's like more than the population of the United States. He is a big student of content creation, but this video is interesting. So he buys a private jet, and he gets 100 pilots, and they have to compete, and whoever wins the competition wins the private jet. So let's watch the first few seconds, then I'll tell you what I thought about this video.
I just bought this private jet, and whichever one of these 100 pilots wins this video, kicks it!
For the first challenge, the pilots all split up into 3 teams.
No way I'm going home.
Okay, I like this part. I don't know. Something about this probably was my favorite part of the video, the very beginning, where they had a tug of war between 3 teams pulling 3 private jets.
The first team to pull their 40,000-pound plane across the finish line.
3, 2, 1, go!
So these are 100 pilots.
And whichever one of these 3 teams moves on will also have to withstand the force of these massive jet engines and win an endurance challenge. So
What's interesting about Mr. Beast is it's well documented now that he's going to be moving into crypto, right? Like offering, I don't know the details, so I'm not going to speak much about it, but offering maybe like the ability for his followers to buy crypto, to sell crypto. And man, I could see them being big meme coin people. So then he put them through a range of other. Oh, we got to watch an ad now. What's this?
The
Great Wolf Lodge.
splashes are huge.
I've
The
there many
action never
times with my
stops,
daughter.
and the
Okay. He puts the people through this where they are.
That's a great technique.
quickly,
The blast from a jet.
the pilots saw what to do, and more importantly,
Puts them through a whole series of challenges. They got to hold on to the jet for a long period of time. And then I'm not going to ruin it for you. I would recommend you check it out. They get to the very end. And then, of course, you get to see who actually wins the private jet. So I thought it was a very good video for Mr. Beast. He does this format on a regular basis, right? Where there's people competing to win a big, big prize. It's a lot of fun. I think we all like to dream about, oh, if I was on there and I could win this prize. Sometimes it's big amounts of money, whatever the case may be. But what I want to say about Mr. Beast is this. I want to tell you a story. When I was 51 years old, okay, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I don't know if you've ever felt that. Maybe you're younger than me, maybe you're older, but I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And I knew that I wanted to do more. And I knew that I knew about YouTube. I was fascinated with it. I would watch these YouTube videos and think, wow, that looks like fun, right? Making YouTube videos. And I'd read that you can make a little money doing it. And I was very fascinated. I like to create things. I love to connect with people like you right now. But I'd had a couple false starts where I would try to start a YouTube channel. And guess what? It's like we talked about earlier. At the beginning, it's fun. It's for the first couple of weeks. It's exciting. But it's like anything else in life, right? The shiny red ball, the new toy, whatever it is that we think we want, the reality sets in. And at a point, it's like, wow, this is really, really hard work. Well, Mr. Beast, I started watching videos. Let me back up. Then the last time that I started, I was 52, and I was like, my gosh, if I don't do something now, it's going to be too late. I don't know if you've ever felt that way. And I said, this time I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and I'm going to stick with it no matter what. And I know that I'm going to hit this point where it's going to be really hard work. Well, Mr. Beast taught me 2 things, because actually he does a lot of interviews talking about his journey into YouTube and what it takes to be successful on YouTube. And what I learned was it was a lot of hard work, and that sometimes it's always fun, but sometimes it's not fun. And I read about how much work he had put in. And there was a point that I reached. There was a change that occurred. about 6 weeks into my most recent YouTube journey that we're still on here now, almost 4 years later, where I sat down here right now and I was like, oh, I don't feel like doing this today. It wasn't fun, right? It was work. And I said, you know what? I knew I was going to get to this point, and I knew that I told myself I would stick with it no matter what. And that's what I did. And it's always fun. This is fun for me, right? I may not always feel like it's like anything in life. And the lesson that I learned from Mr. Beast is stick with it, right? That's the problem. 99% of people quit. And I was part of that. But the big change for me was when I realized that when motivation fails me, discipline will not. Right. And that just because for one day something's not fun doesn't mean you just give up on it and say, oh, I'll find the next thing that seems like fun. So I learned that from Mr. Beast. I also learned about generosity because he was very open with people and explaining to them what he did and the things that he did and things that worked for him and things that didn't work for him. And I learned through that. And I've done this over the last 4 years. I've helped several people start their YouTube journey, right? And explain to them kind of what I learned and what I went through. And that by being generous and by giving, and I can't give away jet airplanes like he can, but I can have my level of success. You can too. And I think one of the biggest takeaways is be generous. I see that in our UFD community. Mr. Beast, I loved your giveaway the jet video. Thank you for doing it. Okay. You're always like setting the bar within the world of content creation. And you're doing it oftentimes, almost always, I should say, in a way that you're giving something to people. So we appreciate it. I appreciate you, everyone out there in the UFD community, your generosity, your goodwill, our alignment with integrity and honesty and treating other people the way that we want to be treated. I believe, right, will make history within the world of the meme coin sector, cryptocurrency. Have a great day. Don't forget, be good to yourself today. Right? Start with yourself. That'll give you a good platform from which you can be good to other people. Take care, and I'll see you, yes, you, next time.